tall, so not the biggest barbarian, but I'm jacked.
To hair braids.
We could put our parents in the way.
Let's if we put it in two braids and then we wrapped it around and then we gave them the flowers sticking together. And then what if we did this?
Another drink, please.
Yes, you may. And he goes over.
Put your hands up. It's better.
No. Syrian boy, Constitution, Civic girl. Yes, you. I'm gonna fight you.
He's sort of a, you guys know who I am, right?
Yeah. Goggles.
You're Dr. Mole.
Robot. Dr. Robot.
What do you do?
Take a moment to try to stop laughing.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one.
Why not? It worked again.
Hating on Batman.
I don't hate Batman, for the record. I hate the fandom of Batman.
Oh, cool. Okay,
That's the
that's
issue.
way more people.
It is. It's a
Dang.
lot of, like, actual human beings.
Were you gonna?
You need to rub this crap off your neck and not smell like me, or I will fail. Just start rubbing his neck and just getting like.
I am fairly certain it doesn't matter what I smell like at this point.
To a feline, you have wolf's piss on you.
I'm just gonna point at my feline eyes.
I have some time.
You've just tuned in. We had the brilliant idea while we were fishing at the Dark Moon Festival.
Oh, jeez.
To do a dungeon with fishing poles equipped. Because why not? And so we drank all of the alcohol in our bags, and we equipped our fishing poles and our aquatic pets, and we went to do a dungeon.
I feel like I need to put it up.
So this was the end of our epic tale. What holds for next week as the heroes set sail? We may find more family, we may find where things start. All we know is to follow our heart. So our heroes set forth to pillage and to plunder in the magical continent of wonder. We have one more question. I hope to not blunder. The question for you, dear friends. Do you wonder? Thank you guys. Indigo Connect.
Sit back, dear friends, and hear the tale, when fairies flew and ships did sail. You know the stories often told, of Peter Pan, both brave and bold, of Tinkerbell, clever and smart, of evil men born black of heart. Adventure and treasure buried in sand, time held its breath in Neverland. But darkness fell on the island fair, a sickness rose of no compare. Each creature and plant fell one by one, no respite found for anyone. So the island died, its people scattered, those left behind broken and battered. Years went by, no end in sight, then through the darkness came new light. The island breathes and life returns. Within our heroes a fire burns. The drive to find those who are lost, to build a home at any cost. Join pixies, skeletons, a mermaid or two, healers, never boys, and lost boys too. They're here each week, new stories told. So pull up a chair and never grow old.
Hang
We
on.
had audio backstage, so it's all plugged in.
Yeah, we're not making noise.
There it
on
is.
the thing.
Got it.
Okay.
Hello.
There we go. We got
Probably
audio.
the first audio sound of this episode is just Trevor's hello.
I love that. I'm gonna cut that. There it is. I can hear now. Just FML. Thank you, Meowdit. Chubby Cobalt Gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Yeah, Discord. You can come hang out with us there. We have a
Discord.
Discord right here. We have a merch store as well, where you can buy cool T-shirts and mugs with our cool little Karma chameleon on there. Hey, nice T-shirt. Hey,
Come
nice
and go.
T-shirt. Karma. We love you. So we also have a digital online store where you can buy. Hey, nice T-shirt. Nice T-shirt.
You can buy that.
Trevor has the very exclusive invisible Karma, who was frightened and now is in camouflage mode.
$600.
That is a true support.
Canadian.
Canadian dollars.
So only like 4.
So not quite as.
No, it's even more.
But the thing is, he had to go to Canada and hit up an ATM.
It's true. It was very expensive.
There's only one in Canada too.
Yeah, it's just the one. It's in Quebec.
Anyway,
And it's only in French too.
so we have a merch store. Come in. Thank you so much for hitting up the merch store. We also have an online store, and you can buy digital goods to up your avatar. We've got fun stuff that can influence the game. You can buy items for players or yourself, and it's just a good way to help us keep the lights on. So thank you guys so much. Announcements for upcoming streams. Tomorrow is the season 2 premiere of Wonder. We finished season 1 and we took a little bit of a break over the holidays. And season 2 is kicking off with some familiar faces, some not so familiar faces. It's gonna be really cool. I'm really excited about this one. So tune in tomorrow night to see the season 2. It's a great jumping in point. And for everybody that has been on the Discord that's like watching the old episodes, it is kind of cool to follow along with you. So it makes my heart happy that people are watching it and enjoying it. So we love you guys. Thank you. So that's Tuesday night. Thursday night we have The Lost Isle, where we try our new camera microphone setup situation where we think we have this figured out, where people will be able to play live in the studio and also call in as well, and all of those players will be able to play sort of simultaneously all together at the same time. So if so, that's going to be really fun, and that'll open up some more doors for us to be able to play like remote and mixed at the table. So tune in for that on Thursday. Friday we go back to Neverland, where I think we're getting the band back together. We're getting the entire group back together, where we can. We've got some magical items to disperse that the group needs to figure out what to do, including the endless bag of oranges that randomly steals a piece of fruit from a fruit seller. And the last sound that you hear every time you grab a piece of fruit from the bag is, "Hey, give me that back!" Like, it's the fruit seller yells at them.
See, like, I would be in trouble because, like, I would be like, "Oh, we're sneaking into this thing, but first." So that is Friday night, and that takes us back around to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you got it.
We don't really need to do a When Last We Met These Heroes. I would encourage you to go back and watch some of the older episodes that we have. Magnoth said, "Well, you know, an apple a day keeps the dungeon monsters away." As you grab a piece of fruit from the bag right before you go to the movie. A lot of these, some of these heroes you definitely know from past adventures, and some of them are going to be brand new to you. So we're going to open up right where we left Des Baha'i and Slowpoke in the previous adventures. You all had just sort of camped out in the middle of the forest in that hut. And you had, after a bit of time and looking all over the place for potion ingredients, had gotten this egg situated in the cast iron stove in the middle of the fire. And all of you, after the arduous adventure with the assassins and the events going on, all of you needed a rest. It had been a long adventure. And as you all settled down that evening, some of you in the hut, some of you outside, we actually open up on you, Des, in this long green field. It's beautiful.
outside. This is a common place that you would go to in your dreams. This place is untouched by the tired and the sickness that once ravaged Neverland. And it's a place of happiness for you, a place of quiet and a place of reflection. And it's not uncommon for you to dream and go to this place. What is uncommon is to see Slowpoke beside you. This place specifically is a place for you. And him being here is an odd turn of events.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you turn and look at Slowpoke, you find yourself in a field, sitting next to Desma High.
I'm gonna reach out and just.
Yeah, you feel a slap on the shoulder.
Hello.
You're not real.
Yes. Okay.
You're
What?
not real.
I mean, I am.
No.
Yes.
Why am I dreaming this? Why?
What are you talking about? What's happening?
The skies take on odd colors of red and purples and swirl in this odd kaleidoscope of colors above you. In the distance, there's a wind that sort of blows in, and running up this field, adding even more strangeness to the situation, is Rovar. As Rovar goes, I'm sorry, I was supposed to be here before you guys. Okay, so, and he, like, plops down, sits down, cross-legged in front of you. He says, you're sleeping, so don't worry about that, and you're sleeping as well.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
I feel like I'm awake.
You feel like you're awake.
That's how dreams work.
What about that large purple dragon behind you?
What?
And you turn around and there is a large purple dragon that's like sipping tea and it's like, oh, good evening.
All right, you got me there.
And then like sort of nods and passes his, and Roar just sort of waves on him. He's like, Gary, what's up, man? He's like, nothing much, good sir, nothing much. And Rovar's like, I've brought you all to this place because in times of war, we've utilized this space. Des, you know this. This is the plane of thought. Sometimes in planar systems and in travels, your people have used this countless times. It is a way to communicate to one another, but you do so when you're asleep. And you do so by communicating abstract concepts. The fact that Rovar's managed to form like complete sentences and things like this in this space is concerning.
Whose abstract thought is that?
No one knows.
Oh.
Gary has been here a really long time. Gary, you've been here a long time, right? And he is, indeed, I have. Would you like a cup of tea? No, thank you, Gary. And Gary nods once again and continues to sip his tea from back behind. Something's wrong. Our lines of communication on the plane of thought between the other furbolgs and the other druids has been cut. And I know that you and the rest of the group are in a difficult situation right now. I've been trying to keep an eye on you, but if this plane is eliminated, if something is blocking us from being able to communicate via the plane of thought and in sleep, there's no way for us to talk without certain beings being able to hear us.
Like Gary.
No, Gary can hear us especially.
Oh, okay.
What was that? Did you need something?
No, we're good.
I thought you said my name.
I did. I was just referencing the fact that you're here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And backs up. And he goes, I meant more the mimics and things of that sort, taking over.
With Mother Mick out there, keeping close watch on us. We're in our dreams.
Yeah.
With this exchange, Rovar goes, I need you to go to a certain point. And as he turns to the right, he takes his hand and sort of swipes it, almost as if he's like wiping off like a drawing or something like that. And as you watch, you see the landscape change. It leads you on a winding path behind the hut that you are currently at, and down this river that goes into this cave. This river, actually, it's like, I think, underground water slide as it goes into the cave. he goes, there's a portal in this cave. It's hard to explain. You're not going to go through the portal, okay? You're going to go to the other side of the portal and walk in the other way. So think like a door, but it changes based on which entrance you go into, okay? I've utilized rituals. I've located where this stopping block is. If you go through that portal, you're going to find yourselves where the stopping is. I've reached out to some other friends. I think you guys know Pax, who is taking care of Daisy for a little bit of time, and Daisy is apparently occupied, or going to be, so Pax is available. Edwin Reynolds, one of the...
Which one?
The handsome one?
The bunny?
Not the bunny.
The blue one.
Not the blue one.
Is the bunny blue as well?
No, the bunny isn't blue.
The bunny is
the sword. He's got a sword. He had a sword.
The one when we met the fish people.
I don't know.
The mermaids.
Yes,
No.
maybe.
No.
I'm not sure. One of the Edwin Reynolds is going to meet with you.
Which one?
No, you wouldn't know Edwin Reynolds.
I've met Edwin Reynolds.
You have not.
This Edwin Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
See, you have not met this Edwin Reynolds, which is really funny to me. That you've met all the other ones.
I'm aware that Slowpoke has not met
and another friend of mine who's one of the most clever individuals that I've ever met.
Edwin Reynolds.
No.
Edwin Reynolds?
I'm going to let him make the introduction himself.
Okay.
But they're waiting. I told them that you all would be coming, and I know this is a lot to ask, but we need whatever is being blocked here unblocked. You're going to wake up in about a minute. When you do, Peg will be waiting for you all. Peg is this small pixie. I don't know if you've met her yet, but Peg will be waiting for you outside of the hut. She will lead you to where this portal is. You will meet up with the rest of the group. Do you have any questions? Great.
Does he have any questions?
Yeah, I was just checking if Gary had any questions.
Does Gary have any questions?
Who?
Gary?
There's no Gary back there. I'm just kidding. He was right there. So that would have been really cool, though, if I'd been like, who? And you guys were like, what? All right, good luck. And he swipes his hand, and as he does, the landscape disappears. Rovar is gone. You see the first inklings of light entering into the space. So you both received a long rest, and floating outside of the door is a familiar-looking pixie.
Hi! What is happening? Oh, who are you?
Peg?
Peg? Oh yeah, we were supposed to meet Peg.
We met. No.
I don't think you've met any of these people.
I was supposed to meet you.
Okay.
Rovar sent you?
Yeah. Green guy?
Yes.
Portal, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Do we still have the healing potion back in the cottage?
You do. You still have that one healing potion. One was used for the potion, but you still have, I think it's a greater healing potion. So if either one of you wants to add that to your inventory, you may.
I'll do it.
Okay. The two of you, very sneakily, the rest of the group is luckily very tired, so at this point they stay asleep as you two sneak your way out of the cottage. Following Peg to a small area where you are able to slide down the water into a spacious cavern with a red portal, and the water seems to travel through this area through a red portal. However, with Peg's guidance, you walk around to the other side of it and go into the portal through the other way. Upon doing so, the three of you find yourselves face to face with three other individuals. In front of you is a very, very large ship. This ship is grounded, and it is sort of moored off of the coast a little bit. But this ship, when I say that it's massive, I mean this thing is like a floating fortress more than it is a ship. You don't know if it's could be seaworthy in any way. Let's see. I want you to describe who these characters see. So first, we're going to start with you, John. Tell us a little bit about Pax.
I'm Pax. I'm the Dragonborn, as you can tell, as he strokes his long, flowing white beard with the burnished brass scales and a bit of wisps of steam coming out of his nostrils and everything. Very formidable. 6'9", 375 pounds. And Pax is ready for battle. Always.
Tell us a little bit about Peg, Indigo Chameleon.
Oh, Peg. Peg is a teeny tiny pixie. She is a pirate. Is a pirate. She has lost a leg, but her wand, she's a sorcerer. Her wand is one of her legs. So anytime she's casting spells, she's generally flying up in the air and casting with her leg. Yeah, that's probably enough.
John, tell us a little bit about Edwin Reynolds.
Run-of-the-mill pirate that like wants to be a pirate but is super like not good at it. Typical pirate fare. Brown long coat with the vest and everything. He's got a sword. Kind of scruffy. Like mid-length brown hair. Like 6 foot or so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else do they see in this clearing?
Oh, okay. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all see in the clearing there's like a forest, right?
Yeah, a little.
There's like a large horse-drawn carriage that parts the ways. It's like tearing down trees. It's just mowing down all the trees, terracing through the forest, and it's blazing through the forest, and then it screeches to a halt right in front of you. And a fish man comes out. He looks like a catfish. He's got long whiskers. He's got a big fat head, and it's just all droopy and stuff. He's like a blobfish and a catfish, just all mixed together. And he turns to you all and says, "Hey, welcome to Crazy Asborg Yelnatz's Crazy Potion Emporium. I'm Crazy Asborg Yelnatz. Yes, that is my name. That is what my mama gave me. That is the name that my mama gave me. That is my whole name, yes, in its entirety. And I am here to sell you a potion. What kind of potion would you like? Well, I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. See, well, I went to go down to the fish people to sell my potions, and I had on my labels written in some magic marker, and I went into the ocean. I went down in the ocean, and all the ink on all the labels, they all melted off. So I don't know what it's gonna be, but I can tell you it's gonna be the best potion that you have ever drank in your entire life. I can demonstrate one for you right now. Here, this is I don't know, it's a green. I don't even know what color that is. But down the hatch. Ah!
I love the fact that this everyone in the group is basically summing up everybody else in the group. Trevor, go ahead and roll me a D100 as you take one of the potions that you have accidentally not the label. The labels have fallen off, so I need a D100, please. Hey, Tim Watts.
Sounds like you need a better magic marker.
That is a 15.
He dies immediately from ingesting meat.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So he goes, "Hey, everybody! Like, what is it? It's a green thing. What does a green thing do? Who knows?" And he drinks it. There is a weird flash of light.
And that's it?
That's it?
Weird, yeah.
Well, some of them can't all be winners. Some of them are just lights. Some of them are magic. I don't know. Look, let me tell you. These potions. Look at all these potions that I have. I have many. I have thousands of potions here.
He's got thousands of potions. But Yasborg, you reach at your side and you're like, "Look at this! I got. All of the potions are gone.
I got 9.
All of the potions in your wagon, all 90 of them are just gone. The flash of light, you lose something incredibly valuable to you at the DM's discretion.
Oh no! Where's all my potions? I had 17 quadrillion potions. It was a very large wagon.
The wagon is gone. The horse is there, very confused. You still have the 9 other potions around your waist that you strapped to your waist, but the wagon with all 17 quadrillion potions, with your 80 bags of holding of potions, are gone.
Well, this just sucks. Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you the worst thing about losing all of your personal belongings. I was gonna sell you a potion, but now I can't anymore because all I got is the night. I need my potions to survive. They define who I am.
You seem very upset.
I am upset.
What was your name again?
My name is
Yaspor.
Yaspor. Sometimes I can't remember my own name. I wrote it down on my name tag. My name is Yaspor Gilak, the Destroyer of Worlds.
Looks like your name tag ran away.
Oh no! Oh, that was my second most valuable possession in my entire life. So anyway, how you guys doing? How you guys? Everybody going along? All right?
I have a feeling Pax is standing there with steam just coming out of his nose, just looking.
Everybody, yep, yeah, that's. I think there's an odd sense of oh no, this poor man's potions.
I'm gonna need to have a conversation with Rovar.
You guys you guys know a good deal about wagons. You know where I can purchase a wagon?
With that timing is too good. As you hear this loud from somewhere within the bowels of this ship. Give me a perception check, Yasbor, at advantage.
Oh boy. Is it perception?
I need a perception check at advantage.
Okay, and how does D&D Beyond work? Who knows? Skills? Skills. Perception. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay. 23.
With this loud ka-chunk, you look at the group, you're like, everybody shut up.
Everybody, shut your mouth holes!
Somewhere within the bowels of this giant ship, your wagon has just touched ground. In the ship.
No, mine. Like
Your wagon. Your wagon. Yasborg's wagon.
You hear that? I recognize that ka-chunk. That's my wagon.
Every other day, my wagon disappears and reappears somewhere else, wherever I am.
I know I can find it anywhere I go.
Gonna stop drinking the green potion.
It tastes so good. Anyway, my potions can cure life, they can cure death, they can do anything. You need a lady? I can make a potion that can make a lady. You need a house? I can make a house potion.
The back of the ship, at this point, begins to open up almost like the mouth of some giant beast. It's not organic, but I say mouth as in because the whole back of the ship just sort of unhinges. It's not a design any of you have ever seen before. You maybe, with your first ship that had all the weird sort of elements added to it, the back of the ship begins to open up towards you. As it does, there's a cold wind that comes from somewhere deep in the ship. You don't know what it is. Right now it's a warm sort of day outside. Like I said, the sun was just beginning to rise. However, this particular ship, as it opens up, this cold breeze just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Now, are we expecting to be on this ship, or is...
Rovar informed each and every one of you to show up to this spot. You know that the druids in the area that have like sort of protected Neverland for a long time communicate in the plane of thoughts. There's something blocking the plane of thoughts. There's something preventing people, and anybody proficient in Arcana, anybody that's proficient in Arcana, Or yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check, as you've been trying to piece together some of the events that might have happened. I'll do Arcana or Religion, if you're proficient in either of those.
That's probably better.
Know that.
Oh gosh, I'd rather that one too.
The two of you were like, you can talk to your wagon? Like,
You guys know what wagons are?
I had a boat I could talk to.
You had a boat?
I know I don't have it anymore. It's weird.
16.
I have a potion that can turn you into a boat.
With a 16, what about you, Slowpoke?
That was a solid 9.
Mine was religion, if it makes a difference.
Okay, yeah, the religion helps. Pax, did you have any of those, buddy?
No, but I could probably roll better than any of those.
Yeah.
I've actually seen my rolls, and no, I can't roll
I was
better
going to
than
say,
those.
buddy, depends on who's rolling. So, Des, the issue that you've been thinking about during your little brief trip with Peg and Slowpoke is this. If the plane of thoughts gets eliminated, and that was the place that you go to dream, your people understood the importance of dreams, right?
Yeah.
There's potential that if
That's why
this...
we have dream catchers.
Yeah, but there's a potential that if this block continues, and people aren't allowed to dream or visit the plane of thoughts, that people are no longer going to be able to rest.
Okay.
Like, and that means that has lots of ramifications.
Yeah.
And you're catching this like the morning after this block has happened, so this could be the potentially last rest that anybody in Neverland ever gets. Unless you guys figure out what's going on. Okay?
Okay.
It's a big religion check.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that back of the ship begins to open up.
Looking at the rest of the party, Pax is going to go ahead and take out the shield and hammer and step in front of each of them towards the ship a bit.
So like the back of the ship is opening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does Yasborg see his wagon?
Okay, you don't see your wagon inside. Does everybody here? It's bright enough at this point. So here's what you guys see. As the back of the ship opens up, you're like, is she in there? No. What is in there is a circular room with doors leading out from it. So think a circular room with, as you walk in, there's a silver pedestal that's ornate, and it has this picture of. It has this picture of a person standing there with an hourglass in their hand, like this. It's raised up into the air like this on the silver pedestal, and there are 3 doors that lead out from this space. Middle, right, left. You don't see your wagon, but you see this silver pedestal with this like hourglass in the center of it.
Alright, that guy looks like he's got my wagon. So like, how do we get there? How do we get to that
Oh, no,
ship?
side note. Hello, I'm Slowpoke.
Hello, Slowpoke?
Des Bahai.
Des Bahai?
Yeah.
Pax.
Pax?
Peg.
Peg?
Hi.
Hi.
No.
I'm Yasborg. Nice to meet you.
Silver pedestal with a statue of a man holding an hourglass in the center of the room, 3 doors leading outward.
So, is this the bad guy ship? I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was one of yours and we'd get to sail in it.
One of whose?
The thing. One of your guys' like place.
One of our ships?
I thought it was one of yours. I thought we were gonna
No,
get
you need a full crew to I mean, it's
So this is the thing we're infiltrating.
Look, all I know is they have Yasborg's wagon. And Yasborg is gonna get Yasborg's wagon.
Who's Yasborg?
Yasborg.
Oh, sorry.
Shut up, Hi. So, how are we gonna get Yasborg's wagon?
So is the ship tied to a dock, or is it out in the center of the bay? What are we looking at?
It's moored. You see several lines connecting it to not a dock of any sort. There are lots of ropes tied to the trees, like the forest themselves, like holding this ship in place. However, upon closer examination, you don't know if it's the tide or what. This thing's on ground. This ship is not floating. It is too big. You don't know if it's construction flaw or if it's got too much inside of it or what. But this ship ain't going nowhere.
Okay,
It's got a wagon more than it had when we first saw it.
So it's in the water, and then there's like
There's
coming
ropes
towards
connected
the
from various points, almost like where the cannon ports would be. Ropes coming out of there, back behind the ship, and tied to various trees.
Is there
trees. Can we
any?
reach those trees?
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Yasbor climbs one of the trees.
Yeah.
He climbs the trees, and then he takes out a cloth, drapes it over one of the ropes, zip line.
Give me an athletics check to see if you can climb one of these trees. Because
let me.
Athletics? Yeah, you got it.
Is the tree lower than where it reaches the ship? Is he ziplining back into the tree? I just need to know which way the rope.
I think the rope is tied
there.
up a little higher because I have to respect this.
He
Yes,
does-
one again!
he does-
Hold on.
Waiting.
So I was following him.
We
Is
might
there
need to
any way
pass
I
these
can
down.
help Yasbor not die?
Can you push Yasborg's ash?
How about
pass
this?
Up the tree?
At the expense of you not climbing this tree,
That's fine.
You can pull a reverse like bodyguard and
'Cause I'm
you
a
go
rogue,
push
I'm
him.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta take that roll at advantage then, Yasborg. I'll let you substitute acrobatics or athletics.
Athletics is better. 11.
How about this? With Edwin's help, it takes you a bit of time, Yazzie. It takes you a bit of time. You get up there eventually, and you realize that this rope is connected to a cannon port. I want to say like a third of the way into the ship.
This is taking him a really long time, right? Like just ridiculous, like longer than it should.
I would say with an
Like,
11.
How long should
I
this
think
take?
Peg feels a little sorry for him at some point, and she goes over and sprinkles some pixie dust and casts fly.
He's a flying fish now.
He's now a flying fish.
I think at a certain point, like the pixie floats over to where you are and just goes.
Oh, thank you, Peg.
I mean, I thought it would help with whatever it is you're trying to do right now.
I was trying to do it cool, zip line.
Well,
Flying
you
is
can
cool
zip line
too.
While flying.
Alright.
I mean, you can move it faster that way, but that way you're more in control of this whole event.
You're a genius. I fly. I still do the zip line thing, but now I just fly.
But he's flying forward with it above it.
There's no tension on the zip line.
You got 9 more minutes.
All right, everybody, let's go.
Would anybody like to follow Yasborg on
Yeah,
this?
I'm already following Yasborg.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and erase the first 3 traps in this room as you all circumnavigate those first 3 traps. Make your way through the ship. First one was a cool, shocking thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and I gotta respect the story. It's too good not to.
Get in the room. It's like, all right, 17 more traps. So we drill a hole in the floor to the floor and fall in. No.
Going in through the cannon port. I will say, Trevor, give me a D4.
Okay.
Let's see where exactly you are on the ship. I've got 4 places where I can see you guys ending up at.
So that rolled and then it was gonna fall up and it moved, so I'm gonna roll it again.
Yeah. 2. A 2. Okay. I will say while all of this is taking place, like the 10 to 15 minutes that Yasborg is taking, all of you during this time are able to all right, why don't you go up and I'll push and then you can the rope and then so as he flies down, all of you are just prepped on the tree, ready to follow suit. Yasborg, you're the first one into this space, okay? As you find yourselves in this space, you come in through the cannon port and there's no cannon blocking the way. There is a rope that's sort of tied up to where this open window is, and it shines a bit of light from outside. You don't see your wagon in this room. However, you do see is a floor that is filled with a small bit of water, almost as if somebody put this plain wooden room. There's a door on the other side. There's a door leading into the room, but the only thing in this large space is what looks to be a tiny bit of water on the floor. And I say tiny bit because you look down and you can see the floor, the wooden floor of the ship. So it just looks like a thin layer of water on the floor.
Okay, Yasborg is gonna take. He has a.
Who's following right behind Yasborg?
I was.
Okay.
He has an empty vial. He's gonna dump the vial.
Okay, so you're up on a window. You're gonna jump down into the in the
Well,
in
he's
the
still
room.
not flying.
He's still. He does still have.
I fly to the door on the other side of the room. You can't.
He's floating above. Hi, Nightheart Gaming. Welcome, gang. Okay, yeah.
I am not flying.
You are not flying. Yasborg, you go in. You fly to the other door. Your feet are not touching the water, but you still have the vial in your hand. What would you like to do with the vial?
I put it back into my bag, and then I open the door.
Okay. You place your hand upon the door, and you go to turn the knob a little bit. And as you do, give me a Constitution saving throw, Yasborg.
Yes. 19.
19. With that, you brace yourself. You're like, and so the electricity does not do a bunch of damage to you, especially because you're frickin' flying and not on the water. And nobody else is in the room.
You should have more than that. He has 26 hit points. Is that?
You should have more than that.
Not for a wizard.
Oh, that's
not
true.
for a glass cannon. Like,
okay, all right.
You are only going to take 5 points of damage. All of you who are gathered around this small spot, you see a little bolt of lightning reach forward from the doorknob to Yasborg's hand, and then it's this. Zzz,
You see my skeleton?
It's Home Alone. It's very much. But you instinctively pull your hand back. Who else is going into the room? Everybody else?
In the room.
Yeah.
Flying in. Okay. You guys are in this small space of water. There's a little bit of light coming in. There's a door leading almost like back towards where the ship opened and forward. But that doorknob that Yasborg touched leading you forward into the ship is last time he touched it, he got shocked.
How sturdy does this door look?
Give me a door check. Give me an investigation check as you look at this door.
Well, that could be worse. Rolled a 14.
Okay. It looks fairly sturdy.
I charge the door and I go bashing through it.
Yeah, why not?
I don't want to touch the doorknob.
So you're gonna back up to the other end of the hall, and just go.
Can I use Mage Hand to open the door before he does that?
So we just
run straight through.
You go. You back up as far as you can. You do some calisthenics. You do some stretches real quick, and it's a. And you go charging ahead. I need you.
I just want you to know there is water flying everywhere because
there is a scream. It is a John Woo movie. Like that. That's like water is flying up in slow motion.
Where do these doves come from?
Right. Hey, we're getting out. Call. Like.
Who has manifest doves?
Right before you get to the door, there's a click as the mage hand flies forward and is not affected by the shock. And the door swings open, causing you to go flying in to this next space. You take a few steps forward, you look down, and there's no floor where you are, and then all of a sudden you are flipping and hit the ceiling or the floor as you see chairs and things like that focused to the floor. I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw, big guy.
Because I am so good at dexterity saving throws.
Oh.
I'll take it. That will be 19 minus 1, 18.
Yeah, you manage to kind of, oh God, as you flip over into this space, and as you do, you hit the floor or the ceiling. But as you do, you sort of catch yourself at the last minute. You take 3 points of damage. It's not that bad.
I thought it was going to be he opened the door and there was no floor. He just falls. This is the second Home Alone trap. The next is paint cans.
Thank you for getting my whole aesthetic for this adventure.
Exactly.
I'm very excited about this. Yeah.
So I'm standing on the ceiling.
That was the sound of a tool chest. Yes, you are standing on the ceiling of this room, looking down at nothing. almost as if there is an inky blackness stretching out where the floor should be. And as you walked in, gravity reversed itself and sent you flying up towards the ceiling. But because you were going so fast, you flipped up.
Watch the first step.
Hey, bud, we might want to do collaborative on this. Like, just might work a little easier for us.
Watch the first step.
What do you mean, watch the first step? Yasborg walks it.
Okay, nothing happens because you are a flying fish for the next few. That's where it's like, it's fine.
What are you talking about? It's fine. There's nothing going on.
I tilt my head over the door. Can I see the floor of the room?
There is, as you sort of like poke your head over, you do feel all of your hair
Like starting to float up?
starting
like
to
this?
float up.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Is there any way I could like grab, is there a door frame?
There is a door frame.
Could I grab onto the door frame and kind of like let gravity take its course and swing myself
Heck
down?
yes, this is super clever. I'm about it. Give me like acrobatics at advantage as you just sort of do this like seamless like gymnast move as you push yourself forward into this space.
Acrobatics would be a 17.
17?
Advantage, yeah.
Yeah, very easily. Like, boop, boop, boop. And Des is sort of walking on the ceiling with each and every one of you. This is going to be a weird question to ask. Who remembers this?
I do. No, I don't.
Ooh. Wait. Hold on.
I'm trying something weird with this one because I have the crew to do it. Who remembers this?
Remembers this
Yeah.
Okay. Yasborg. This is a common bad dream. You're asleep in bed, and you're in an inn, you're in a tavern, you're in a weird place, and as you do, you open your eyes, and it's this sleep paralysis thing where you just start like floating upward, and you can't stop your body from floating upward. And as you look back at your bed, it's just like an empty expanse. And you just keep floating towards the ceiling. It's not happening to you now, but this room is ripped. Like, you have a brief recollection of having this nightmare. Okay?
Okay.
That's all you need.
So what's in this room?
So I want to enter the room.
Okay.
So I take, because I want to use a spell right now. I don't want to waste it. And I'm not acrobatic enough for this.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Fortunato's floating arrow, tie a rope to it, shoot it down. So instead of floating up toward, since the floating arrow wouldn't go towards the ceiling floor, it would go the other way. And I can have a rope that I can just climb down to the ceiling.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I think I see the logic of this.
Okay. So it's a floating arrow. In a regular room, if I shot it up, it would go this way.
Correct.
In a reverse room, it would go this way. And I can have a rope tied to that, and I can follow the rope to the ceiling.
Okay.
I do that.
I'm about it. Here's the deal. You're still shooting an arrow. Are you just letting the arrow go?
Well, I have to shoot it so it will stick into something.
Great.
Oh,
Great.
no.
Give me an attack roll, please.
But a regular arrow, I want to stress this, a regular arrow would just fly the other way. This won't.
Yep, and this is...
A regular arrow will
this
go
is,
wherever you shoot it.
This is such not a regular arrow. Like, I need you to make an attack roll. And it's only if you whiff it.
23.
Okay.
Not a
you,
whiff.
you nail it. You manage to do it. You do that, and then you kind of like flip into the room a little bit. Are you shooting it towards the abyss?
The other way.
The down.
The down.
He's shooting it towards the down.
Towards the down. You shoot it towards the down, it keeps going.
Oh, no.
Are you holding on to the rope?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it stick?
Hmm?
Did the arrow stick to something?
The arrow does stick to something, but what it sticks to, you have no idea.
That's okay. How much rope do I have left? Can I make it to the ceiling?
You have 50 feet of rope. You
All
can
right.
make it to the ceiling.
I'm on the ceiling now, and I just wrap the rope around my arm so I can
Okay, you
get
start
it.
pulling the rope back.
Yeah.
Okay, start pulling the rope back. And as you do, you pull back. The rope has stuck into something. It looks to be this just like mass of like brown and yellow ichor. You don't know what it is. It's it doesn't look organic. It almost looks like I don't know, like congealed rock or something. Like you don't know what this is. So as you land on the ceiling and you pull back. The arrow has found purchase. You just keep pulling this rope back, and out of the darkness, you go fishing for this weird amorphous rock.
I'm still standing like in the doorway. Can I like inspect this or whatever?
As he pulls it up, are you the only person not in the room yet?
Yeah.
Like not on the ceiling?
I'm not
Well,
quite in the room.
Peg
I'm like in the doorway.
Peg flew in. You're gonna look at this as he's pulling it up.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So just perception?
No, this is investigation. Because you're
Once
like
they hit the ceiling, does gravity reverse and they're just standing on the floor?
they're standing.
Ceiling?
They're standing on the ceiling.
The ceiling's the floor.
The ceiling is the floor ceiling.
Yeah.
Well,
The
that's
ceiling
and
is
then
the floor
plus
ceiling.
one,
Yes.
because that matters.
For skill checks, it sometimes does, and now it doesn't. It's a nat 20. I gotta respect it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, out of all the random places that Edwin Reynolds, this adventuring life has taken you, you recognize this immediately. Okay, this is an odd rock called a mood rock. It amplifies the strongest emotion in the room. You don't necessarily know how it works. How about this? When somebody was really scared on the ship, they'd lock them in like a box, and they'd take one of these rocks and they'd drop it in, but they'd heat it up first. And as it started to get a little warm in the box, it started to get a lot warmer inside the person's head.
So it's like a way to torture someone?
It could be. I have no other way. I don't want to give it away without saying that, like, you would know what this is. This amplifies mood. This amplifies emotion. This amplifies, if people are afraid of something, this amplifies the fear a little bit. If they're in love with somebody, this could be used as to, like, oh my God, like if they want something, this could amplify the want.
In my experience, did the size matter? Like, hold on.
Size always matters.
But, like, is this one particularly big?
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of the biggest ones you've ever seen.
And proximity is important as well.
Touch is the major thing. If it doesn't touch you, it's fine. Right now it's still on his arrow and he's still sort of pulling it up on the rope, but you see it go by and you realize that the minute he grabs this or the minute somebody grabs this.
Alright, so I shout out, hey guy, drop it! Hey dude, guy, you, drop it, stop!
Okay, drop it.
Okay. The rock, he lets go of the rope, the rock begins to fall. Or like going with the arrow, it like continues to go into the inky blackness.
Can I never mind. Do it again? No. I was gonna say, should have done something to keep my rope.
I'll get you more rope.
Well, the rope is probably still extended to where you can reach it.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is. So this room, what's
on the floor, ceiling floor, you see random furniture. You see a small table set up that you could have like food at. That's set up on the ceiling.
So the furniture is seated as if we would normally expect to find furniture.
Absolutely. There's a chest in the farther right-hand corner of the room. There's also a writing desk, like a desk set up with a piece of paper and a pen that are already sort of set up and ready to go. And you see like some food like on the table. You know, looks like some random sandwiches and chicken sandwiches, just as a throwback. But it looks like you guys interrupted somebody's dinner.
So it's like somebody was there recently.
Yeah.
I'm going to the chest.
Okay.
Could be treasure.
Could be trap.
Could be
But
progressively
it could
smaller
be
boxes.
treasure.
Is there any follow through to the room? Any doors on the other side?
There is no door on the other side, which is odd because all of the places that you've been to, there's been a very obvious entrance and a very obvious exit. Okay. There's the inky sort of blackness that stretches out like from where you are now. Everyone in the room, it's looking straight up. It gets a little wonky for the fishman and the fairy who can fly about the space. With my new favorite cop show. But there's no obvious door outside of this space.
Okay.
Now, can we still see the original door that we came in?
Yes.
Well, I'm still standing in the doorway.
Yeah, he's not in the space.
That's right.
Can I use firebolt just and like aim sort of like in a corner or like away from the wall, so I don't set anything
Do you
on
have
fire.
access to spells as a rogue?
Yeah, cantrips.
Do you? Is this like a racial?
Oh no,
thing?
wait, that's arcane trickster. Never
That's
mind,
arcane
not.
trickster.
Yeah,
Okay.
Never mind.
You're like, wait a second, I can't do mage hand.
No,
And the shocking door never.
Treasure chest.
Well, sure,
I mean, it might not be a
used any
treasure chest,
proficiencies
but-
for anything, so.
Is it worth the risk?
I'm not gonna change it.
Treasure chest.
Yes.
Peg, that chest is locked.
Can anybody smash this thing open?
Who said that?
Or pick the lock? I don't know.
Who said that?
Me? What?
Who said that?
Smash the
Somebody
treasure
said
chest
that.
open?
Did you not hear a voice?
Oh no, that was just me. That was just me as the DM. That wasn't like me doing a character voice. I was like, that was great. Peg, who said that? You broke. You just broke the fourth wall just now, Desmond.
Remember, a cat is not a dog.
Cat's not a dog. As you try to open the chest, Peg, it is locked. I should have said it like.
I walk up with my hammer.
Sounds good to me.
If only we had someone who was more roguish.
All right, give me an attack roll.
Well, I haven't hit
Well,
it yet. As soon as she gives me
acts
the.
without asking what other people are good at.
You gotta jump in here.
Smash it.
You wanna open it?
As you
Smash
take
it?
out your thieves' tools and examine them, going, I could probably unlock this. Go ahead and give me an attack roll on the chest.
This is actually karmically beautiful. You were the one who opened the door.
That's going to be 12 to hit.
12 hits. It's a chest. It's got a low AC, so go ahead and roll damage for me.
This chest is wearing studded leather.
This chest is a rogue, and it makes it use as evasive action.
That's going to be 10 points.
10 points. You see small cracks appear along this the wood of the chest, and you see parts of it begin to break, but it isn't broken yet. Would you like to come into
take
the
it
room?
in both hands, two-handed shot on it this time. If nobody's stopping, he's going through the full
I've
line.
given up a try. It's not beautiful.
Wait, did you ever enter the room?
No, I'm still in the doorway.
And that's going to be a 14.
Judging silent.
And I really think I will move this die to somewhere else so I don't pick it up and roll it anymore. But that's a 14.
14 hits. Roll damage again.
And this time I get a
Very
D10
loosened chest.
for two-handed.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I roll the same thing. 10.
10? Yep. With that, the wood cracks open, and as it does, you see a flight of stairs.
Ooh. Flight of stairs.
Leading down.
Alright, who wants to go down the creepy stairs?
I want a sandwich first. I don't eat much. I'm tiny.
What?
He's not the brightest, but Pax is going to go over and take a look at the writing desk and see if there's anything on there.
Sure, you're having a bite
Is
of...
a raven like this?
You're having a bite of sandwich, you're checking out the writing desk. Okay.
Which should be the other way around. I'm usually eating the food. And somebody with any brains.
There's a letter on the desk. It's written in very flowy script.
And I'm actually going to pick it up and squint at it and attempt to read it.
Okay. The experiment continues. I don't know if she's going to let me continue onward. I've discovered a person. Our conversations are varied. We talk about life and love, magic, the rules governing the planes. He's different. He says he's not of this place, but of it. I haven't been sleeping. It's hard to sleep. He says that's because he's close. He says that's because that's his realm. And he's taken it away from me as a punishment. He's asked me to leave this place, but I continue our conversations.
Can you read?
Yes.
You read through the entire letter, and it says that.
And I'll actually share that. Who's the most intelligent looking in this group besides the Yaz man?
13.
13?
I would probably look intelligent.
Intelligence.
But I would also look 14.
14 for intelligence, 15 for wisdom.
14 is probably the number to beat.
More than me.
It's the same as me. Des and I are the same smart.
But he's a 14-year-old boy. And
Des would look a little smarter just because she's not a 14-year-old boy.
Pax is more of a follower than a leader, as opposed to, as these things go. Who would he look to as a leader in this group?
Her.
It's his mission at this point.
He went first.
It's true.
Who would Pax looks to as a leader in this? No,
Pax would understand in his limited time on the island that for Des to look as young as she looks now, which is somewhat older, she has to be the oldest person here by hundreds of years. Hundreds of years.
I would have taken it and brought it over to you then. I don't know what to make of this.
I read it.
The child is not here.
What's it say?
The child is not here is now on the letter? Or?
That is the only thing on the paper.
Can I give a peek? I would look at it and be like, the child isn't here.
Yeah. While Des is holding the paper, you look at the paper and it says the child is not here.
Can I hold
Does
it
it say
real quick?
anything about his card?
Does it say the same thing?
It says the same thing before of like I have set forth, I have talked with.
The child
That's not what it said.
It's a.
What does it say now?
As you hold the paper, what did I write for you?
Oh, it's like a magic eye thing where you sort of see different things. It's neat.
Yeah.
Your destiny is of this place, but not of it. You will never be the Pan.
Oh, sick burn, dude. That was not Desbai.
Who said that? You all hear a voice.
You hear that?
Oh, sick burn, dude. That was it.
Oh. Okay, well that's depressing. Okay. I guess we're all sharing this
Big
paper.
Tread one says, "Oh my God, did the DM create like it's like an asshole fortune cookie?"
All right. What does it say?
Sorry, I had to ban someone from the chat real quick.
It happens.
No, it was just a bot that's like, "Hey, want to buy followers?" And I'm like, "No, I don't."
Oh, that was my account. I wanted to know if you wanted some followers, and I need money.
I'm really sorry about that.
Okay.
It says, "Do you recognize this ship, Peg?"
Okay. Do I recognize the ship?
Do you? Give me a perception check.
Probably. It's 17 plus.
It's got some similarities to a ship
3.
that may have been destroyed
Okay.
by a tidal wave.
The one I destroyed?
The Titanic.
Yes.
It looks like the one that I destroyed. Good, I guess. Here.
Oh, give it to the Yasborg. What does the Yasborg see? Oh, what does my Yasborg guys see?
Listen here, ass face. I've got your potions, and you're not getting them back. And the green one tastes like mint and duty.
Well, you're just the paper. You're not the boss of me. Here, take this stupid paper. What does it say?
All right.
Wait, did you enter the room?
So, are you coming into the room?
Yeah, I'm coming into the room.
I like it better that he's just like, read this. Paper airplane. And the minute it gets close to the door, like it just flips and falls.
Oh, like up?
Yeah.
All right, so I enter the room, I read the note.
Why'd you steal my name?
Oh.
That's weird, it's blank for me.
Give me a deception check.
Nat 1.
That dude's lying.
Don't worry, it hurts its all.
Okay, mine had more than 5 words on it. I'm gonna need to see that paper again.
All right, pass it on over.
Yeah.
Ah, the pan thing again.
Inside check, buddy.
Nice, I'll take it. Let's see what I have to subtract from it. Only 1, so a 17.
Okay. The paper seems like an account of somebody that reached out, that was performing an experiment of some sorts. and reached out to an entity. You look about the room, and you got a 17?
17.
You look about the space, and you have come to the realization that you are the only person here that is not from here. Like, everybody's kind of from a similar plane to begin with. Like, you have the assumption. So you're wondering if this magic isn't affecting you quite the same way that it's affecting others or reaching out to them. But as you look through this paper, it is an account of somebody who reached out to an entity, reached out to a form, and this person, when you talk to the Abyss, there's a chance that the Abyss talks back. It's a recurring theme that's happening in the other group as well, of like, you have to be careful about what you extend your thoughts to. But, so you don't know what this is.
Yeah, we spelled out 420 in the dice.
Okay.
I actually read mine out loud to everybody to see if it's familiar to anything rings familiar to anyone.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Cool. The desk. Food. Go ahead and give me a D100, please.
Uh-oh. Yay! There's the other one. 90!
Okay. Oh, actually, no, I don't even need this.
Oh, I never did wild magic when I passed one. I'm good.
You monster.
I am really, really sorry. You take a little bite of this chicken sandwich, and you're like, this is weird. This and you look at the chicken sandwich, and a little bit of green potion, like, comes out of the chicken sandwich a little bit, and you're like, this is weird. There's a chicken sandwich. And you like look about the space, and like Pax walks forward, and you just see his like face kind of melting and then like reforming, and he's like, what's wrong? And as you look about the room, the walls start melting a little bit.
She's on mushrooms.
And as you look about the space, like you guys look over at Peg, and this little fairy, her eyes are so dilated that she's lost all of the white of her eyes. Like it almost looks like one of those like toads, like those frogs that it's just like, and Peg's just like, and she's leaning back so much, but she's still flying, so she's occasionally like going all the way around. Your voice sounds so funny.
I was hungry.
Now it sounds bad.
That's a good sandwich.
Peg is tripping.
Put the sandwich down.
Okay. Stairs.
I'm gonna go for the stairs.
You make your way.
Last one in the room, first one out.
Okay. You make your way towards the stairs. You're like, I can't believe this. Oh God, gravity! And you flip around to this area. You go to these stairs. These stairs, from where you are in the ceiling in the room, you're heading up into the next level of the ship. Does that make sense? Even though you're walking down stairs, like you're heading up to another area.
All stairs should be like that.
All stairs should be like that. Okay. You make your way up the stairs. Who's following behind?
I'm following.
Okay.
I'm getting a little string and tying it to the pixie.
1, 2, 3. And a pixie.
Yeah,
that'll take a second as you've just got like Pixie on a string who's just being like led forward like this, like floating into the space. I can't believe you rolled a 90. It's supposed to last for like 2 hours, but I'm not going to do that. It's like they are tripping like
it's
for
okay,
2 hours.
there are some in there that'll last days.
Yeah. Okay. You go into this space. And as you get down the stairs, it's not a door, it's a curtain of water.
I'm going to take my sword and poke it.
Okay. Take your sword out, and you poke the curtain of water, and your sword comes back slightly damp.
Does it do that thing where, like, if you hold it up flat and the water, like, splits, you can, like, walk in and you can see the other side?
Okay, I like where your head's at. So you take, like, the flat end.
Yeah,
It's not like the sharp. You take the flat end and you put it up. It doesn't it does create like a little bit of a path, but it doesn't fully stop the flow of water.
Can I cast shape water, but not in a super helpful way, at least at first, where I make it into different shapes and mushrooms and flowers and bumblebees, and at some point, like, maybe I can accidentally create a tunnel, even if I have to roll for
Sure.
it.
Give me
but-
shape water and roll 2 d20s for me, please.
Okay. The 2 d20s were 17 and 13, and I don't know what modifier you want on that.
Okay, a peg kind of floats into the space, still on your leash, and as she does, she starts morphing the water into like butterflies, and then she like looks at the group, and then she's inspired, and she starts like turning the water into like cartoonish versions of everybody in the group, like of just like caricatures like at the beach, and she's like like, and just starts looking at the water. As she does this, eventually she's going to part the water for a second. As she moves this water, she's going to part this area. When she does, you see a lagoon. The lagoon has a small green island on it. It looks like it's way too big to fit into the ship that you saw. Like it could barely fit. And as you look, the lagoon is like surrounded on all sides by the sea, like with a sky in it. Like this lagoon is it's this like small island, but like the lagoon is like surrounding it, and you could see open sky. It's almost as if you're out of the ship at this point. But as that curtain parts a little bit, and Peg is tripping hard.
In that split second, can I dive through?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
With that, it's a jump. You going too?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Going. You watch them go.
I guess everybody's going. Oh, and it's back to normal again. I guess so. It's not parted anymore.
It's not parted, and your fly is gone.
I walk through the water.
Yeah, you're a fish. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I had a good swim.
Okay. Stone lagoon, little patches of green on it. It's almost as if as you walked through the curtain of water, you walk through into another place. You're walking through this space, and as you do, like I said, it's beautiful outside. The sun is shining. As you all make your way over to this circular platform, you hear giggles.
Is there
coming from the water.
Possibility of the thought of that we're walking in a waking dream right now, or something of that nature?
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we swim up to through the lagoon.
You can walk. You can walk. There's like a little pathway that leads through. Think Indiana Jones. Like you just, as soon as you get through the curtain of water, you're walking along a little pathway to this stone in the middle of this lagoon, almost like this little stone island in the middle of the lagoon. And you're just hearing like faint giggles coming from the water, like girlish giggles.
I look in the water.
Okay. As you look in the water, you see like a little like tail flip up, like a mermaid tail kind of flip up and go and keep going under the water.
My people, hey!
Now, are we walking on the water? Did I miss this?
There's a little stone path of the water, which is like.
So we noticed that there are mermaids. Fun.
He goes, my people. Like,
so yeah.
Yeah.
I start to like hurry it up to get to the
You
lagoon.
are worried.
Yeah.
Because you know that all of them are carnivores. Like,
Yeah.
all of them.
Do we still have our what was it? The little
token?
The token.
You do.
That doesn't mean it's gonna work for this clan.
But you can certainly try.
Passage.
Yeah.
Do we recognize this area as part of Never?
You do. This is a pretty famous spot here in Neverland.
Mermaid Lagoon. Is the Mermaid Lagoon freshwater?
Mm-hmm.
Has it always been inside?
Nope. It's usually outside.
On this stone island, is there anything else on this stone island?
Give me an investigation check. As you start like looking around the area and stuff like that, like
We feel ourselves outside right now, or do we see?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are outside as
Yeah.
far as our perception.
Mm-hmm. So as far as where it feels like we've been transported because all of this is in a dreamlike state.
Right.
We have chasing right now?
It seems as if the closer you're getting to whoever this is, the more things are taking on. Like, it started small with like a little trap here or there, a little burst of lightning, and then it got weird with like gravity reset, and now you're on the second floor, and now like you're outside, and it's getting hard to distinguish what is real and what is not.
Because whoever this is playing with our sanctity of our dreams.
Do you think they'll bargain? I look down at the water. Hey!
Well, they're not attacking us right now.
No.
Okay, here we go.
Would you like to buy a potion?
Oh, shoot. Give me a persuasion check. Does anybody want to assist with this?
I'm walking to the beach, so I'm safe.
I'll help. I don't have.
You immediately just sort of back up as far as you can away from wherever this water is as he's staring down. Take this persuasion.
I don't have proficiency in persuasion, but I do have proficiency in intimidation.
So you would like to threaten the mermaids?
No, I just want to be aggressive about the fact that they should listen to him.
He's not.
Does that
You're
help
not.
him?
No, you're not making this check.
And I'm also like really.
You're really
tripping
tripping it still.
so
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
Hi, would you like to help me?
I don't have proficiency in it, but I will stand by you, brother.
Yes.
How much does
You
Pax
weird
know
fish
about
man.
mermaids at this point?
You know that Daisy has told you not to go near them. They will eat you. You have meat on your bones. They will eat you.
We need to move now.
That's why we're already over here.
Move.
Wait a minute.
Hurry up.
As you turn to Dez, you're like, we should. Dez? Like,
Wait, they're half fish?
persuasion.
He's all fish?
I just take
We're good.
I just take a potion and I just pour it right in the lagoon. There you go.
First 3 samples get a month.
Yeah, exactly. First draft's free.
First taste is free.
Yeah.
You sell that.
If you break
Give them the handle that you sell free.
one of like 2 combats, go ahead and give me a D100, Trevor.
All right, that is a 35.
Oh, he's making a face.
You should have known better than to have a plan at all.
You should have known better than to have Trevor on.
Okay. The entirety of the lagoon, as like these mermaids come up, they're like, as he's like, hey, you want to buy a potion? And they're like, yes, why don't we? And as he pours the potion in, the entire lagoon freezes instantly. Like all of them are encased. Like all of the water, because it's fresh water, all of the water freezes instantly, and like you just see all of them like caught in this like this grimace as they're frozen in the water.
I give them one of these.
I think they liked it.
Well played. Now let's go.
Let's go.
The dream begins to fade. You are in a simple room with a bunch of those rocks, in a door that led where the water was, and another door leading out of this
Do
room.
I know what the potion was?
Yeah, wall of ice. Wall of frickin' ice in a freshwater lagoon, and the potion, the drops of the potion, the entirety of the potion freezes completely, so when he poured it into a freshwater lagoon, the wall of ice formed around the lagoon.
Magic of Yazborg.
That's us, complicated solutions to simple problems.
There's a door. Yeah, you've solved my mermaid puzzle.
The solution is to break it.
Good lord.
Alright, so we approach the door.
Okay.
Alright, guys, there's one more that we need to break, and that's it.
Okay.
Can we
So
open the door? Let's go.
We do the thing.
You do the thing. You open the door.
We do the door thing.
This particular door leads you into a man's study. This
like a man cave, like a man's study.
like a man. It smells of rich hog.
There's a fireplace.
There's a fireplace. He's wearing silken.
Bath
Oh,
and
hello! I
Body
didn't
Works.
see you there.
A
Come on
bear
in.
rug.
You see the purple dragon from before. No,
Gary.
see-
Gary was behind this all
It's
along.
always Gary. You see a very well kept gentleman. He's wearing what looks to be just a smoking jacket, a white shirt, pants, and dress shoes. There are bookshelves lining this study. That's not the oddest thing is to open this door and find this. What you do find odd is in this study where the fireplace, where you could look directly and see the fireplace, you see another man chained to the wall. There are green chains that stretch out from where this person is to all the various spots along the wall, and this well-kept man is like looking over at the gentleman, and he's like, you see all of these sketches of this man that's sort of like chained up against the wall, these green spectral chains, leaving spots on his leg, some like coming out of his flesh and connected to his hands and up against the wall. And he, as you all enter the space, he looks over at you and he tries very hard, and you see him like his skin being stretched a little bit as he goes like this. And then the arm is snapped back to the side.
Do either of the two men resemble the statue that we saw earlier?
The man chained to the wall does.
Do we recognize him at all?
He's got very dark skin. Looks like he could be a member of the tribe.
Okay.
He's not wearing conventional clothes. He's got a white robe. It's just a white robe with little bits, which look to be little grains of sand that travel up the robe. And as you are looking at him chained to the wall, the grains of sand continue to move.
Mr. Sandman, bring me
Don't stop. Hey, guy.
No.
With hey guy, the guy in the study picks his head up and looks over at you.
You know, we don't want to bother you two consenting adults. He lost his wagon.
Yeah, have you seen my wagon? It was large. It had 4 wheels, or maybe 5. I don't remember. But it had horses.
In it. Yeah.
Like at least 1 potion in it.
Yeah.
Between 1 and more than 1 potion in it.
Sorry about breaking and entering. We get our stuff, we leave.
You are only here to get your things and then leave.
Well, his things.
Yasborg's things. I'm Yasborg, by the
That's
way.
Yasborg?
Yak Knack. I potion seller. Yeah, I sell potions. Would you like to buy a potion?
Give him a free sample.
While they're distracting him, I'm actually going to go over to the man in the chains. And
I'd say give me a stealth check at advantage. If you ever needed a distraction in your life, this man has no eyes for you. He has no eyes for anyone in this realm. You've seen the... have a free sample.
I appreciate the advantage. I don't know what it's going to do for me.
Please give me a D100.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nat 20.
Giant dragonborn sneaking into a study.
In full armor. Yep.
Clang.
We're gonna freaking cheese this.
96.
Did hey guy seriously work?
Okay. What are you two doing? As these two have captured the attention, what are the 3 of you doing, honestly, at this point? As you walk into this study, I'm a kind of benevolent DM. For a surge of wild magic, I will end this trip.
Aw, thanks. Absolutely.
It'd be funny if the wild magic started a new trip.
It would be.
You're gonna use that one instead of the other one?
Yeah, that was a potion one, and some of that stuff scares me.
Wild magic surge. 38.
38. Okay. While that is happening, what are the 2 of you doing?
All right. So do I recognize either of the 2 figures in the room?
Give me a religion check. The guy in front, that's
20.
That's certainly talking to these 2. You don't know.
20.
20. Your memories are starting to come back.
Okay.
You want to do the same thing here?
Well, I remember.
You remember he looks like the statue.
Okay, I'll roll for a religion check.
Okay.
It's religion, right?
Yes. 34?
18?
18.
38, I think.
38. Crap.
Yeah, it was 38.
Yeah, I looked at it too.
Cool. I'm gonna use that later.
No. Okay, so it's ended, but I don't know what's happened yet.
Okay.
18 for me.
20. Okay. You know who this is.
Mm-hmm.
you didn't give him a name because your people thought it would be disrespectful to give a name to something that's powerful without asking them. It's presumptuous. Todd. The children are not that way. He is a god that the kids refer to as more for us. There's always more for us. We can go to this special place that more for us rules over, and more for us always has like more food. If you're hungry, you go visit this place, and more for us gives you food. There's always more adventures to be had. There's always more for us.
He always makes you choose between the red pill and the blue pill, though. It's a pain in the ass.
For me?
That's for you. You know him to be a being of great power that rules over the plane of thought and sleep. You remembered him as the kind of the same, but the kids called him more for us. Okay?
That's the one they're talking to.
No, they're
that's
talking
who's
to the
cha-
other
that's
guy.
who's chained to the wall.
There is a god chained to the back wall.
Okay.
Nice.
And so the other guy, I don't have any...
You've never seen this dude before in your life. The two of you are paying attention to the dude that's chained back there, and your heart is beating fast. The nerve.
All right.
Yeah.
The unmitigated gall for whoever this asshole is to walk in here to this place and do that to this
And
man.
chain a god.
To the wall.
Not this man, like a god.
Yeah. If you weren't incensed, I would make you roll a wisdom saving throw to see if you could just hold back from just punching this dude in the face for what he did. But yeah. You start sneaking out, buddy, with your nat 20. He takes the potion from you, and the potion that you roll, and he goes, "This is a free sample."
It's good shit, man. I had one the other day. Changed my life. I used to be bald. Now,
What do you see? Do you see weird stuff? I heard it makes you see weird stuff. So I've been
he hasn't taken it yet.
Are you a dream of
No, I'm a
sorts?
fish.
I'm a dream.
No, I'm a fish. I'm a dream. That's
at this time, you've caught up to him, and he looks down at you, and you see him. You see tears pouring from his face, and as each one of those tears hits, a little bit of that tear sinks into the wood of the ship.
Can I go over where he is?
I'd say these two are being I had hair, and it's anybody that wants to sneak over and talk to this guy before this thing kicks
Full
off.
conversation.
I'm gonna like basically go over and be like, just you want us to get you out, right?
Pax is going to be a little more direct than this, and he's looking at where these chains are connected to the wall.
I am not sure how he's been able to do this, but I have to go. The world has to start anew. Each day, people need rest. My plane is dying. I don't think this can be done with mortal means. He has a key, and he like nods his head over to the side, and as he does, you all of you see these two talking with the
Can
guy.
I have flown over to them during this
Yeah,
time?
absolutely.
Okay.
You
And
did
I'm
not hear
feeling
any of
normal
that.
now,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because they're trying to talk me into taking the potion.
He is a fish, and he is a dream.
Yeah, dream boat.
Did I
Like
see
like
where
this
he-
boat we're on. It's a dream boat.
Chain around it. I'm gonna give you that.
on the
This guy, the guy that's talking to the three of these numbnuts in the corner.
can
I
I
think
sneak
it's-
up behind him?
Give me a stealth check.
I think it's super important you take this potion. I think you should take it now. Suggestion.
But you haven't already taken the potion? That's like the one thing you're supposed to be
We
taking.
literally told you to drink the potion.
It's a
What is?
wisdom save of 14.
I want to just let me know. I'm gonna have an arrow out pointed at this guy when Des
I'm
reaches for it.
Ready
and
my
then
axe as well.
I'm just gonna be ready for him to react to her.
Dez is walking forward with an axe. You've got an arrow
Wait,
knocked.
hold on. So the guy changed the wall was the guy from the painting.
The statue.
The statue
Oh, I
that
thought it
was
was
holding the
painting.
hourglass.
She's walking forward with an axe.
I am about to swing on wherever these chains connect to the wall of this.
All right, you're almost having a silent conversation of like, she's gonna hit him, I'm gonna swing at the wall, I'm gonna shoot the arrow.
And I'm holding my hand so that we all kind of can get a signal together.
Okay.
Can you slide?
Wisdom save of 14.
But I'm just trying to talk this guy to death.
I kind of want to ruin it, but I'm not going to.
Okay. Trev, I want you to do me a favor.
I feel like the group has been split.
Give me another
Different alignments
D100.
right now.
This potion is going to come in clutch, and I'm going to let you choose between the two.
Okay.
But I'm not going to tell you what either of the numbers do.
Okay.
Okay?
96 again.
It's gonna be 96.
It's got to be 96. Okay, cool.
Okay.
What are the odds? Jeez.
1 out of 100.
Okay.
He was trying to find a way out of 96.
Yeah. Dude.
Okay.
Here. Here's what I'll do. Okay. Here. Do you have a table? We have a table. Okay.
There's a table in the other room. Let's go grab the table.
Here. I got cups. We got cups.
To
There
get
you
you to stop talking, he takes the potion, flips the top, and drinks. And he stops. And as he feels the subtle magics of the potion, he instinctively reaches up to tug at his own hair.
Yeah, you got more up there, man.
Hey, Des,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be the weirdest question
Okay.
I've ever asked you.
Okay.
As you walk up towards him, what side do you walk on? His left or his right? Like if the necklace, you can see a little bit of the necklace poking out of the left and a little bit of the right. And I imagine you're here to grab or you're just here to stab him in the back.
I'm here to use the axe to cut it.
To cut the necklace, okay.
Yeah.
So you can see a little bit from the left and you can see a little bit from the right, almost like sticking out of his shirt. So what side do you go to?
Okay, so let it be known that it's my axe reaching, not me.
Oh, got it?
What side?
Sounds like a
Are you
D4
left-handed
to
or
me.
right-handed? Or is the character?
Well, I'm left-handed, but
So-
the Sandman is the guy on the right side of the room or the left side of the room?
He's like in the far back, so like straight ahead. So if you're left-handed, you would cut the right.
Yeah.
Like if
okay.
you were and as you're walking up, like you would cut it. Yeah. Okay. You would
Alright.
like try to. Okay. You take the axe, and as you do, several things happen simultaneously as you're watching this.
Of course they do.
One, you go to cut this chain off, and he tries to turn to the right, but he is unable to turn to the right. As you just like, you go, huh, and he goes, and like strains all of his necromantic powers, and you see every inch of him is trying to turn to approach the thing that just cut his neck, and he cannot turn, and he feels as if for a second that he is frozen in place, as he cannot turn to the right at all. When that happens and she strikes forward, you grab the key.
Mm-hmm.
You fire an arrow.
No, unless if he turns to attack her.
It sounds like he's trying to poop real bad. Like it sounds like he's like
Real good,
he's straining and like staring at these guys, and you just go like,
I'm swinging wherever that chain connects
Hey,
to the wall.
buddy, is this a magical axe at all?
It is a +1 hammer.
Okay, good. It's not gonna break. The hammer's not gonna break. That's the good news. Give me a strength. Just give me an attack roll. With that being said, everybody roll initiative. Everybody roll initiative. All stops lead to this battle. If you want to drink potions, if you want to use any of your abilities, now is the time to do so. Who would have taken one of his potions?
I gave
Without
one to
doubt.
each one. I gave one.
If you so choose, he has enough that as a bonus action, I'm going to have it so that as a bonus action on your turn, you can drink one of Yazborg's potions. Okay? You've seen what they are capable of.
Yep.
So I'm telling you this now.
I'm wondering if I'm going to throw
Could
mine at
I
this guy.
coat my weapon in one of the potions?
It might be a healing potion.
Yes, you may.
Okay.
I will let you have done that throughout the course of the adventure. If that's the case, the next attack you make with that axe, the potion's just gonna go. Is that what you're choosing to do?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Everybody roll initiative. 20 to 25. Okay. Okay. 20 to 25? Okay. 20 to 15. Edwin.
16.
Got it, buddy. All right. Edwin Reynolds. 15 to 10.
14.
14?
12.
Roll off for me. Roll off.
Oh.
7.
Okay. You are not next.
But since I was basically holding an action, do I get to?
I asked you if you wanted to fire this.
I said if he attacks.
Okay. You know what? Yes. If he attacks, I'm going to let you fire this arrow. If he go, and he's going to go before you, so that's a good move. I'll allow that. Pax, you're up next. 15 to 10. 10 to 5.
8. Oh gosh.
Okay. 5 to 1.
I got 1, but my
Here.
initiative plus is 3.
Love it.
Wait. Oh, now we have to do. Okay.
Nope.
So-
We're just going to say it's funnier if Dez is first, and then Yaz before. Yaz is next. I love it so much. Okay. With that being said, Edwin, you are up first. 3.
I had the attack on the wall that happened
You did.
beforehand.
Roll
I rolled
damage
a
for me.
22.
22.
And so.
There are 6 chains connecting to the wall. Based on who.
What's that?
How much damage did you do?
7.
The hammer comes down hard, and with it there is this faint, like, gong sound as you smack upon it. That green chain emits this little tiny burst, and as it does, you see a bit of the wall start melting away. But the chain is holding firm, okay, with that. It's just not enough damage to...
Am I seeing that it's going to be effective doing this?
With enough time, you realize that it might be more effective if the lock is taken care of.
Perfect.
Okay? Edwin, you are up first. This guy is standing right in front of you. You've got these two also standing right there next to you. Stay up. Okay, yep. Give me an attack roll. He's with
24.
Yeah. Roll your sneak attack damage. That hits. He is going to go.
Sneak attack damage.
Rogues have something called sneak attack damage, so you're going to actually have some extra d6s added to this. For you, it's going to be 3d6, buddy. So roll your attack and actually roll an extra 3d6 to that.
So it's 1d8 plus 3 plus 3d6?
Yes. Yeah, rogues, man. I'm telling you.
That's 11 just for bonus.
Okay.
And, 14 plus 3 is 17.
Okay, 17 points of damage.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to drink the potion.
Okay. And you're like, ha ha ha! Ha ha! Roll a d100, please.
Yes, sir. 64.
64. Cool. Cool. John, you can only speak in rhyme for the next 1d10 real life minutes.
0.
10.
Or 10.
John, for the next 10 minutes, I will say till the end of the episode, John can only speak in rhyme.
Awesome. That sounds fun. I can't wait until we've won.
Yeah. Well done. You know what? Take a DM inspiration. I love this. Your yes-anding. Any roll you make until the end of the game, you can re-roll. Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
For me, yay, me?
Yep. I'll allow it this one time. It is the gentleman's turn. The gentleman's turn. For his turn, he is going to give up on turning right and immediately turn left. As he does, he's going to see the scene of you standing there holding the key in your hand, and he is going to reach out to you. And he is going to cast a high-level spell. That's all right. He's going to cast a high-level version of a spell that Tracy is really familiar with. Okay. Dez, do you currently have more than 24 hit points?
Yes.
Okay. You feel the sleep spell starting to come forward towards you and start to envelop you into it. I need you to write the number 24 down somewhere where you can access it. For this particular adventure, the sleep spell stacks. So the next time he casts this spell, it will be stacked on top of the 24. So you will add that 24 to the next time he casts sleep. Does that make sense? Just write the number 24 down. We'll use that. That's a mystery mouse tool. We'll use that later. Okay.
Oh, now I get all the sand.
Pax. Pax. It is your turn, bud.
I have a
My
question
turn?
real fast.
No, hang on.
Wow.
What was your roll? You were up there.
I was 14.
He was right after.
He's right after the.
But he
gentleman,
had
yeah.
the shot that he
You're
was
up
going to
next.
take at it. Was that an attack?
Yeah, that was an attack.
He cast a spell. I'm going to count that as an attack.
Yeah.
Slowpoke, take your first, your held action for this as you shoot an arrow at him.
And that'll be a 23.
23 hit.
Cool.
That hits. Roll damage, please.
Oh, also the Slayer Spray.
Okay, remember to do that first. Yeah, bonus action, Slayer Spray. Do it. Roll that damage, buddy. I'm not going to fault you for it. Then Pax,
So,
yeah, you're up next.
10, and then I get my second attack. And that's a 12.
12 is going to miss,
That's okay.
Unfortunately.
So
that first arrow flies true. Actually, no, that was your first attack, was your held action. You get another attack here. I'm going to let you, you held this, funk, take another attack here.
Cool. So that's... so as a bonus action for this turn, I'm going to...
No, that was the Slayer's save. You can't hold a bonus action as well, so I'm going to let you hold that attack. But
Never mind then.
Yeah.
Cool. So then this attack is just a 18.
18?
Yeah.
18 hits. Roll
Okay.
damage.
So the Slayer's Prey, that would only count, even though this is two separate attacks, does that only count
Counts for
once?
both, I believe. Yeah. Roll for both.
Alright, so that's 6. And then for my second attack on this turn, because it's two separate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, another 23.
23.
And then 7.
Got it. You guys just watch as Slowpoke reaches back and it's like, the name's ironic. I get it. Funk, 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 as these 3 arrows fly out. One of them goes wide, and as he turns around to look, the other 2 just smack into the chest. And as they do, they fly forward and hit, and he looks... 3 of them hit?
3 out of 4.
As he looks down at the arrow, he looks down at it, and as he looks up, he's wished it out of existence. Like he's dreamed it out of reality. He looks down at the other arrow after taking the damage, and looks up, and as he does, those arrows that were sticking out of his chest are just gone.
Well, then
The damage still rolls, but they're just not sticking out of his chest.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Got it. Gentleman, Slowpoke Pax.
On me, man. And I'm going to go forward and swinging my hammer, take some attacks out.
Do it.
23.
23 hits.
And second one's going to be another 23.
Both of those. The second 23 doesn't. I'm kidding. Oh, God. We all roll damage, buddy. You're doing great.
13 and 10. It's going to be 23 altogether.
23 points of damage. Okay. Oof and doof. All right. That's your turn?
Yeah, I'm just having focused on me.
You're like, look at me. Look at me. Peg.
Okay, stay with me because this gets a little complicated.
It's good that you're trying something different. All right.
And what I'm hoping is that this will be a really good distraction like Fairy Fire that will give other people advantage.
Okay.
But, so what I'm going to do is I am using my action to cast a silent image. I can create a 15-foot silent image. It can move. It can look living.
Okay.
I'm casting the purple dragon that we saw at the very beginning in the dreamscape, the big giant purple dragon thing that was sipping tea.
You're casting Gary.
Yes. So I want an image, a moving image of Gary. Now he can't talk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 sorcery points for quickened spells so that I can cast message as a bonus action.
Okay.
And 1 sorcery point to cast subtle spell so that I don't have to do that point when I cast message.
Okay. You're using 3 sorcery points.
Right. So that Gary can talk to him. And
In
be
his
like,
mind.
Yes, in his mind. And be like...
The manifestation of Gary the purple dragon who sips tea comes into this space, and as he does, 6 flumps manifest themselves in this space as well, and begin to circle Gary. All 6 of them, creating this odd dance in the corner of the room. What does Gary, the purple tea-sipping dragon, say to this
I haven't
gentleman?
even gotten that far yet.
Well, go ahead and roll a d20 for me, please.
Oh, that's right, because wild magic. Yep. That was 15.
Okay, roll another d20 for me, please.
13.
Okay.
Okay. He's, oh gosh, he's
And
like
it better be in
isn't he?
rhyme, too.
No, not necessarily.
I know, but it would be so cool.
Like how you're splashing the pot over there. You're like, better be in rhyme. That's John. Well,
Well, sir, I think. Oh, now he's talking to the flumps now, or I thought he was talking to the big bad guy.
he's your manifestation.
Okay. Yes, no, he's talking to the main guy that we're
Yep.
firing at. He's like, listen, I think you all should just back off, move away, and release this whatever he is over here.
You say that to the guy.
Yeah, to the guy. Y'all.
Okay.
Singular.
Okay.
You know, he's southern and proper.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Great. Great. Awesome.
I just want to help everyone else.
You're helping out everybody.
Yes.
Des, for the next round, all of your attacks will be at advantage. For the next
round?
For the next round.
Okay.
All of your attacks are at advantage. So your next turn, all attacks are at advantage as this man, who is currently in a battle between a dragonborn with a hammer and a rogue that's stabbing him, now looks forward to this large purple dragon.
15 foot.
15
and he
foot.
will be there for a while. I'll
Yeah.
let you know exactly how. Oh, he'll be there for 10 minutes.
Yeah, he is focused. He is turned. So your next attacks will be at advantage.
Okay.
All of them.
Awesome. I'm gonna roll my 2 attacks then. Oh, is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll my 2 attacks then and hit him with my axe.
Yeah, that's where you're up next.
Hang on.
You got this, man. Kick his can.
So one of them would be a 21 to hit. The other would.
I would
not.
But
That's
I
just
run
one
like a
attack.
nut.
Oh.
Because you're at advantage.
Oh, you're right. Shoot. Yeah.
So your first attack.
First attack is a 21 to hit.
Thank you. Please go ahead and roll me a d100. 21 hits with
yes,
your axe.
and that's with the potion.
Yep.
On top of it. Is the potion coming from him?
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the labels are, but he's handed them off to everyone.
Sounds good.
37.
So it's first attack.
Okay. You don't see any visible change to this individual. But you see this. You see the potion land into them, and he just kind of looks down at his chest. You know.
And that's a 7 damage.
7 damage with
and
that one.
then the next one would be a 17 to hit.
17 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That one doesn't help.
17 doesn't hit.
17 doesn't hit?
And that's at advantage?
Yes.
Yeah, 17 does not hit.
Oh, that's okay. So
Good.
my first one hit. And then I'm going to burn a key point.
Okay.
And use my bonus action to do Step of the Wind and disengage.
Okay.
And use my movement to go all the way back to More for Us.
Clever girl. Okay. Yeah, you're going to fly backwards and then just... are you using your bonus action to do the... Step of the Wind, disengage. Okay. So you can't put the key in yet, but you were standing next to where the opening is.
Yes.
And you've disengaged from him completely.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Okay. Yeah, great move, Des. That was your turn. Okay. You're up.
Okay, Yazborg is a necromancer, and he's going to use. This is what I say out loud.
Okay. This is him talking.
Yes, he's a necromancer.
I need to inform you all that Yazborg, me.
Yazborg, this guy, who's got 2 thumbs and is a necromancer. This guy. I'm gonna use vampiric touch on the bad guy person, man.
A bad guy person, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Do it.
Okay. Okay. Let's make a melee spell attack against a creature within reach.
Roll that d20. Hey, Geeks Unleashed. Thanks for the raid.
Oh, hello,
day. So metagame.
Welcome.
We just had a party of 16 join the chat to watch you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Party of 16.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're having a great stream. We're fighting the big boss right now.
Does a 17 at least hit?
17 does not hit, buddy. I'm so sorry.
Hang on. How do I get the spell?
It's okay. That's going to be your spellcasting modifier. For you, I think it's going to be int, and then you're going to add your proficiency bonus to that, and then and put that together.
So that would be a 23.
That hits. Okay. Roll. So roll damage as you're doing vampiric touch. You guys watch as Yazborg the Fishman goes, "Hey, I'm a necromancer." Oh no! And you hear this like dark music playing in the background. It's like it's kind of like fairly happy-go-lucky like fish guy. Hey, I make potions. All of a sudden turns and then like this dark magic starts being channeled out of this Lakatha, and the gills start like flapping like rhythmically to the chanting like.
Stop everybody, stop. And he does 12 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, and how many of those do you get?
I get
12 of them?
Yeah, I get 6.
You get 6. So he heals himself by draining the life force from this individual, like taking a bit of it. Would you like to do anything with your bonus action?
Yes, absolutely. Would.
What would you like to do?
I would like to drink my magical potion.
Yazborg, the potion seller, reaches in and has a little bit of his own supply with his bonus action.
That is a...
He takes the potion.
22.
Uncorks the top, puts it in his mouth, chugs it down, and immediately falls over. like takes a little bit of... No, he's fine. He just fell over.
Yazborg out.
He's like, I hope you are ready for the... Oh!
Like a death drop style falling over?
More like a infomercial late at night. I've fallen and I can't get up. Like, he's just like a fish that's just sort of flopping at the moment.
Like one of those toys where you press the button on the bottom and it just goes...
Absolutely.
Okay.
While reveling in his own amazing magical prowess, Yazborg, the fishman, falls over.
Flop like a fish.
With that, we go back to the top of the initiative order with Edwin Reynolds.
I'd like to attack if I can. I'd like to try and stab this man. I'd like to hit him with my sword so that he can see his lord.
I will allow it. The curse of causing you to rhyme over and over again for the next 10 in-game minutes still in effect. So go ahead and roll your attack, please. Don't forget you have DM advantage because you're speaking in rhyme so wonderfully. So,
of course, I appreciate it truly and fully. I cannot wait until Shully.
Shully is a religious holiday for fish people.
It's just a swim cap.
It's a swim cap.
I hate to say it, but I do not hit. Unfortunately, my aim is quite like shit.
Would you like to use your DM inspiration to re-roll that attack roll?
I will save it for a rainy day, just in case I live until May.
That's fair enough, buddy. You hold on to it as unfortunately Edwin Reynolds reaches forward, and as he does, he's like, "Did you fall on the ground?" And then he swings the sword over a little bit to the right. Yazborg's like, "Don't look at me."
It's fine. It's okay.
It is the gentleman's turn, as the gentleman will reach at his side, and as he does, he will pull his hands back out from his side, and you see these tiny little motes of light collect on his hand and fly outward towards each and every one of you. With that being said, I need everybody. Let's double check to see to make sure this is not a save that you guys have to make. I think this is an attack roll. Yep. Okay. Okay. He is going to roll these dice. Hang on, and you see these little flecks of color move from his spot and counterspell. At what level?
3rd.
The spell does nothing. However, Yazborg is rolling on the ground, correct?
Yes.
He will reach forward and grab one of 2 remaining potions at Yazborg's side. and chug it. Go ahead and roll a D100, please, with his bonus action to see what will happen here.
40.
40.
And a 49. Yes, 40.
He's only gonna do the one, and he goes, "Bow before my wait, hang on," and he's just tall. He's like really tall, like he's not just like a regular tall. It's like uncomfortably tall, and he's just a little uncomfortably tall, like not little tall, he's just really tall. More like just an uncomfortable, like you look at him and you're like, he's tall, but he's like too tall.
But not tall enough that it's like.
Not tall enough that you're
ridiculous.
like, wow, that really looks good on him. You're like, he's just a few inches like too tall.
Did you write all these?
Yes.
He's uncomfortably tall, and he's just like he looks a little like uncomfortable. He's just like
just really long. I'm a long fish now.
Slowpoke. This uncomfortably tall man stands in the room before you.
Alright, so he like dreamed away his errors, right?
He did.
No, wait.
And we're gonna dream.
The fish man's not tall.
You're under the wrong notion. Oh wait.
The man is tall.
He took it
He
from
saw
you.
you down on the ground and he's like, I need the edge in this fight. And he chugs the potion and he's just like, bow before the... And you guys look up and you're like, he's tall, but he's not like... It's not a good tall.
I'm gonna try my Lost Boy instincts here and try to fight fire with fire and try to dream an anvil falling on his head.
How do you not let this happen?
Shut up, Wolf.
I imagine I'd have to roll for it to break his dream with my own dreaming.
You have always wanted to say these sentences. Now I'm a dreamer now. Okay.
This is my
Desbahai runs forward. And as Desbahai runs forward, you see the key getting in close proximity to the man chained against the wall. And it seems like the key, even being in proximity, the rules get a little iffy. And as the rules get a little iffy, you use your Lost Boy instinct, and you have your arrow knocked, and you're doing it, and the man gets uncomfortably tall, and you just go, no. And you put it down, off to the side, and what do?
I look up, like, okay, no, first I look down, in my mind create an invisible X. Like a mime X. I look up, and I grab a rope, and I let go of it.
Okay. Just give me a straight D20.
Okay.
What do we think imagination would be? What skill on here? Is this charisma, wisdom? Add your wisdom modifier to this.
So that'd be 19.
Or performance.
I like wisdom. Yeah. Give me, as you all watch at the uncomfortably tall man, he reacts strangely as he looks down at the ground, and you see a red X appear on the ground in front of him, and he goes, I don't. And he looks up, and an anvil seems to fall from the sky, tied to a rope. Roll 6d10, add 17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6d10, add 17.
It's okay. Okay, so that was 15. That was 15. 15, that was 7. So 22. 20, 27. 33. 39 plus 17.
56.
56.
56
points of damage as the anvil crashes into him. You see him reaching up and trying to stop it, trying to wish it away. But the anvil crashes into his side, and he manages to get a hand up. And as he's pushed down to the ground, he waves his hand, and the anvil, before it can fully press him down to the ground, is pushed out of this state. He turns around to look at you, and you see his eyes turning the same green color as the chains holding the person against the wall. Okay, you have his attention. Congrats.
Thanks.
Okay. That is your entire turn.
Yes.
Pax.
I'm hammering away at these much too tall knees.
Okay. You're doing before you were hitting at his chest, and then he just and you're like, oh, sweet knee shot. Like boom, boom. Give me 2 attack rolls on the knees.
It canted.
Okay.
First one's going to miss with a 13. Second one's going to be a 19.
I will let you forego this damage on this attack if you would like to knock him prone for everyone else.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. You just go, you just kneecap him. You don't do any damage, but you knock that knee out from the left-hand side. When it does, he hits his knees and he falls to the ground prone, putting him in an even height for everyone else from that uncomfortable tall. But he just does not have the dexterity being on his knees.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to pop a potion.
Pax is popping a potion. Roll that D100,
because
baby.
it's worked out so well.
It has worked out so well for
everyone
everybody else. Yep. Go ahead.
51.
51. My phone has just died, so you were going to have to read 51.
Okay. 51. A magic train rolls through the area.
Do I get to direct it?
No. Just read it out loud. Is that all it says?
That's it. That's all
it says. Glug, 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 glug. All aboard!
Tom Hanks.
It's Tom Hanks on the Polar Express.
Hot chocolate.
It doesn't matter where you're going. What matters is
I have to. No, we are officially off the rails. So I'm gonna say that this train just plows into him. This train plows into this guy, and he puts a hand up to try to stop it, but Tom Hanks is just too powerful with his Oscar-winning performance caliber acting. I need you to roll 10d10.
I'm gonna need some help here, guys. Let's see.
Actually, if with 10d10, everybody can roll. I'll say 12d10. Everybody roll 2d10.
Perfect.
12d10 as Tom Hanks aboard this train. What was in this potion?
Here, I'll get the.
You get the calculator out?
Calculator out.
All right.
11.
11 plus
7.
7 plus
10.
10 plus 10 plus
10.
10 plus.
I got a 7. I wish it was an 11.
7 plus. That's 55.
55 points of damage as the train plows into him. He is still standing at this point.
No, he's lying.
He's lying on the ground, but he has train marks over him as the train disappears from view. That was Pax's turn.
Yes, it was.
Peg, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, when in Rome, I will start with shocking grasp because
You were going to okay.
But I'm gonna follow it with my potion because we've got to do this, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
There's only one potion left.
Shocking grasp is plus 6, so it's an 18 to hit.
18 to hit.
It's 2d8 plus I get an extra 2 for that, so it's 6, 8.
8 points.
Lightning damage.
8 points of lightning.
And roll my wild magic, and then I'm good.
I gave him so many hit points.
And a potion.
It is 94. The entire universe teleports 3 inches to the left.
The second star to the right. Still right, but less right than before.
Oh God.
Oh.
The entire universe teleports 3 inches to the right.
To the left.
To the left.
I think he falls out of the chains. The chains are spectral. They are not of this place. They're planar bindings. That means they're from a different plane. I think he falls into Dez's arms. I think he falls and Dez, you manage to to hold on to him because the universe shifts, but the planar bindings are. Yeah, he's out. Like, yeah, with that, the universe shifts 3 inches, and it's just enough to release the chains that were holding on to him as he falls into your arms. As you manage to catch him. I'm not even going to make you roll because you were right there with the key. It's your turn.
My turn was going to be used unlocking it. So, you know what we have to do.
I know what I would like to do.
What is that?
He turns away from where you are and walks towards him. And as he does, the freakishly tall man shrinks back down to normal size. He stands in this space, and you see the confines of the study being washed away. And when I say washed away, I mean literally. As you watch this figure cut the distance between the two, and as he does, he waves a hand this way, and it looks like sea moving through, like water clearing out a painting. When you throw paint thinner on paint, as things begin to dull in the room, and the man reaches a hand up and tries to put a hand up to hold the image in place, and he shakes his head no and slices it to the side, and bits of the wall and the reality start falling to the wayside. As he does, the illusions surrounding this space begin to fall. The manifestations of the dreamscape begin to fall until all that remains in the chamber are the 6 of you, this man standing there, the god that you have released, and Gary.
Wait, her Gary or Gary?
Gary, the purple dragon Gary.
So there are 2 Garys.
No, I think there's just the one.
Well, the illusion lasted for 10 minutes.
I don't.
He was the illusion. It was him.
I don't think it's an illusion anymore.
Reality.
I think he walks forward and grabs this man by the scruff of his neck, and he says, "I'm going to send you to a nightmare that you will never wake up from. If you touch me or any of these fine people again, you will answer to me. Come here, brother." And Gary takes his halting steps forward, the flumps floating around him, and he's like, "He's yours now. Go play." And he takes the man and tosses him, and Gary grabs him around the neck and says, "We're going to have so much tea together, you and I." And as he does, Gary cuts a hole in the universe, and as he goes through, like, you hear, "All aboard!" And as the dreamscape train goes by, and you see anvils sort of lined up along the sky with red X's spanning the distance as this nightmarish dreamscape goes forward. And Gary turns back and gives a wink to the group, and the look on the man's face is just this look of abstract, no. He reaches outward for anyone to grab him, and the god closes the portal, and the last thing you see is this man reaching a hand outward, and then the portal closing in the space.
Have you guys seen my wagon?
The plane of thought has been saved. With that, with a laugh from the More For Us will actually come over to each and every one of you and thank you personally, clasping you by the hand, and he will whisper something into your ears. As he clasps your hand, he will say, "She will have no more nightmares of her time."
Thank you.
Yeah. He will clasp your hand, and he says, "Once, and only once, you may call upon me. It is not something I give lightly. Do you understand?"
I understand. It's strange. I always thought you would be an owl.
Who?
You.
We have much to talk about. I look forward to it. He turns to you and reaches forward, and as he does, you think he's going to wrap his hands around your head, but instead he reaches to the top of it, and and grabs Slower Poke, the turtle that sits upon your head, and brings it forward and whispers a little bit to him and places it back. Slower Poke keeps an eye on you, so I thought I would make it official. Slower Poke is now a Slower Poke of Awakening. You cannot be surprised while Slower Poke is in your presence at all, so no one will get the drop on you. If you are sleeping and someone attempts to sneak up on you, Slower Poke will awake you.
Yay! Thank you, also.
He goes,
Both things.
You're very welcome. Thank you for letting me borrow your ship.
It's nice to know it's not exploded.
It's going to need a captain.
Yes.
I think you might be able to work with someone. And he turns to Edwin Reynolds and he says, thank you, Edwin.
No problem, sir. It wasn't any bother. I wish I hadn't started that sentence with bother.
He shakes your hand and touches your cutlass off to the side. As he does, the cutlass takes on the look of little grains of sand held together, but the sand morphs and shifts. This is a weapon that you can use that can change into any weapon as a bonus action. The sand will form into that of any weapon that you so choose. But this is an actual weapon in D&D Beyond. I'll add it to your character sheet.
Nice.
Last but certainly not least, Yasvork.
Yes, that's me. Yasmorg, how do you do? How can I help you, sir?
Many of the things that we ran into today could not have been handled without your severe imagination and ingenuity in potion making. Yasborg, I wish to offer you something great.
Greater than a wag full of potions?
Yasborg, I give you a decision that I do not give lightly. But without your ingenuity and imagination, this could not have been done this day. Yasborg, I can give you your wagon back, with your quadrillions of potions in it. Or I can make you a god. Yasborg, you will be the god of creativity in this realm. So this is a hard choice.
How long do I have to think about it?
I mean, kinda quick. Everyone has to have a bathroom break, so.
Yeah, I'll take the god. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, I'll take the being a god. Yeah, that sounds
You would
fun.
take the potion.
If I can make more potions, I'll be a god. Right? That's how gods work, right?
He extends a hand in your direction. Yasborg, god of potions, of creativity. May you help us all in our times of need. And you all walk outside of the ship. Standing there as descending into the heavens is Morpheus and the newest god added to the pantheon.
Hi, everyone!
Yasborg, as he ascends towards the heavens,
Riding my wagon.
riding his wagon in as godly specters. The horse is still mortal and is just freaking out. Like, the horse is still mortal, and I need to reiterate, the horse doesn't know what's happening.
It's okay, horse 1 and horse 2. That's what I named them. It's okay, horse 1 and horse 2. It'll be okay. We're going to, I don't know, wherever gods live. Mush away!
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. There's no other way to end other than that.
I think we knew him back when.
Hold on to that. Like, remember that. That's a big one that can be used in a battle. It's essentially channel divinity. It's an ability that clerics get where they can enlist a god. It's got the equivalent of a 9th level spell. Or if you want to get super creative with it, Morpheus is the god of sleep and dreams. So, what, Tim? I just jumped back in and Trevor is now god and I have context, but I still accepted 100. Thank you guys so much for tuning into tonight's game. I know I couldn't have asked for a better group of players to tell a creative story about the Morpheus, the god of sleep and dreams. Thank you all so much. We've got the season 2 first episode. We've got our very first inaugural episode for season 2 of Wonder, and never. We're gonna go some fun places on Friday as we discover the map, and we discover a little bit about Cal's background, and we learn how you all are going to handle the newest party member in the group, a small black cat that has joined the group. That when you pet it, you hear her voice, which is that of the old hag that lived in the forest. It's like, as you get
What are you doing?
Why are you petting me? Stop it! And then as you take your hand away, you hear.
No more milk.
Oh my God! All the cat memes. So yes.
Thank you, Big Red One, for the bits.
Thank you for the bits. And the chat has said this, Trevor. You did the right thing. When someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Trevor, thank you so much for stepping up tonight and joining us for tonight's episode. John, thank you. It was great to have PAX, and I figured I can think of no better present for you than for Daisy to forget about her time with the tired and to be the dad that takes away the nightmares. Yeah. So thank you. Edwin, I usually close out all the episodes and I say Indigo Connect, and we'll see you guys soon. But instead, I actually think I'm going to ask John, because since he's really here, Edwin Reynolds, to close out tonight's episode. John, any final words for the group?
I hate you so much, but I'll follow the rules. Because in the end, it might seem a bit cool. So I must say goodbye at the end of the night. We hope that you enjoyed watching us fight. And
ready to raid?
To all of you, we appreciate your time. Goodbye, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah!
Stick around for raid!
Stick around for raid. Earn those stream points. Influence the game. Who knows? Maybe you will be the next Trevor and become deified in the Indigo Chameleon verse. We love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.